Hi guys, hello, Rain here, and today we're gonna play the game that is called Libertad once again because I really like the game the first time we played and I really want to see more of it because this game is astonishingly amazing. This is so good. This is so good. Last time I enjoyed the visual novel that much was I guess Breakchance Memento, and this is so good. This is so good. It's like really good. And we left in the forest, so let's now continue our journey to Libertad. Good, now let us settle down for the night. This area will soon grow dark. We'll best take our sleigh while we can still see. You want to make camp already? But it is only twilight. We can still go on. I could, but I'm not so sure about you. You're already out of breath and Libertad is still many leagues away. Besides, rest is a necessity and we will fare better if we travel when we're well rested. I understand that, but wouldn't we try to cover as much ground as we can? What if the goblins come, or the slavers catch up to us, or... Oh, shut up! Just sit down and be quiet already! Mother suddenly raised her voice. Her expression grew fierce and she turned to face me without any sign of her usual calm. Listen here, Otter. As long as I'm the one leading, I get to make the decisions. If you have a problem with them, then either take the lead or get lost. Got it? No, I didn't mean... I'm sorry. I backed away from Marta and lowered my head. Seeing my beautiful expression, Marta sighed audibly and scratched her head. Look, I can only ensure your survival if you do what I say. I'm an experienced adventurer. When I say we need to make camp or take a particular route, there's a damn good reason behind my decision. So if you want this journey to be as painless as possible, then do as I say. Do you understand? Yes, I understand. Mother sighed once more and brought her hands down to her hips. Oh, we stand in a pose. A Superman pose like Wilson always was standing in House MD. Alright then, Otter, eat something light and then go to sleep. You'll need to regain your strength, for tomorrow we'll begin our trek in you. Very well, I'll make a fire then, so we can... Don't! Sorry? The smoke will give away our location to our pursuers and the light will attack monsters. Though it may make you feel uneasy, the darkness is our ally. Let us not waste the cover of the night. Understood. Somewhat disheartened by my own uselessness, I did as Martha discreet and grabbed some food from our supplies. Oh, so we have the food. Okay. After eating in silence for a short while, Marta and I ventured further into the woods in search of a proper place to rest. Once we located a suitable area in which to make camp, we settled down for the night, making ourselves comfortable on the soft grass and leaves beneath us. Content with our new camp, I sat down and resumed my meal. I knew that we wouldn't have much time to look for food while we were traveling, so I took the opportunity to fill my stomach and enjoy a break from physical activity. I felt somewhat disheartened that my break was going to take place surrounded by darkness in a creepy forest, but at the very least I could finally sit down and eat without interruptions. While nibbling on the apple in my hand, I gazed up at Marta. Unlike me, Marta didn't seem to be unnerved by our surroundings in the slightest. Eating quietly in the dark was not a problem for her, nor was camping out in a forest infested with monsters. But for me, this was not the case. Everything about our current situation frightened me, and the silence only fueled my unease. So after swallowing another mouthful, I gathered my courage and spoke at last. Marta, can I ask you something? Huh? What is it? I was just wondering, for how long have you been an adventurer? When did you start training? Was it difficult? Is it the kind of thing you need to devote your life to? Sheesh! What's with the barrage of questions all of a sudden? And what interest do you have in adventuring anyway? It's not as glamorous as people make it out to be. That's not a problem. It's not that I'm particularly interested in doing it myself or anything. I was just thinking that maybe if I trained to be an adventurer, maybe I could become stronger like you. Aww, that's so sweet. Marty's eyes narrowed as I touched upon the reason for my questioning. No, forget I said anything. I was just making idle chatter. You needn't take my question seriously. I tried to laugh off the sudden tense atmosphere and bring the brief attempt at conversation to an end. However, Marta continued to stare at me, unconvinced that I meant what I said. Oda, if it's strength you seek, then my experience as an adventurer will not aid you. I've become an adventurer since I was born. I killed my first master before I could even speak, and I have been honing my skills ever since. I have no secret training ritual to share with you. Only time and effort will see you become strong. I see. That's a shame. I suppose I'll not be able to become strong so easily after all. Of course not. Strength is something you build up over many years of tireless effort. You cannot suddenly decide to become an adventurer and hope to gain such power as a result. Yes, you're right. Please forgive my foolish question. I cast my eyes downward as my hopes were quickly dashed. Although I figured strength would not come to me so easily, I had hoped that Marta would at least share with me a tactic I could use, or perhaps help me basic swordplay. However, my question yielded no such result. Instead, all I earned was a lecture. For what reason do you wish to become strong anyway? Is it revenge that you seek, the power to slay the man who pursue you? Unexpectedly, Marta continued our conversation with an exquisitive tone, genuinely interested in what I had to say. In response, I shook my head and uttered weakly, I just want to be able to protect myself. Oh, this is so lovely. The art is so great that I can't even. Oh no, wake up! Hey, Ada, can you hear me? Huh? Shoo! Keep quiet and open your eyes! Awakened by Marta's soft shouting, I immediately opened my eyes and looked around. Though still half asleep, I quickly gained my bearings and thought back to what had happened before I fell asleep. What's wrong? What happened? We've been hacked! I didn't anticipate this number of goblins! Goblins! My eyes darted back and forth. I couldn't see a thing in the pitch-black darkness. If there were goblins watching us, I would have no way to tell if and when they would strike. Just keep calm. They haven't slaughtered us yet. Oh, okay, yes, I'm calm. But where are they? I thought you already killed all of the goblins around here. Hardly. All I did was slay a few scouts. With their scouts not reporting in, the main force had now shown up to look for them. The main force? That sounds bad! It is indeed. Usually goblins travel in groups of a few dozen or less, but right now, there's an entire horde of them out there. No, perhaps it would be more accurate to call them an army. Do you see them? Marta pointed towards the army of goblins. Although I couldn't make them out clearly, I could still see the occasional flicker of moonlight of their spurs and shields. I think so. I do see something moving. But wait, I can also see bigger goblins. They are hobgoblins. They're bigger, stronger, and in this case, more heavily armored. What do we do? Are you going to fight them all yourself? Impossible! They have the advantage in numbers, weapons, armor, and they know the lay of the land. Not to mention the goblins have excellent night vision. We'll have to make a run for it. They haven't spotted us yet, so we can still make it out of here without a fight. Can you run? Of course. Right, follow my lead and do as I say. Don't think and don't look back, just keep on running until your legs give out. If we're surrounded, we're dead. If you fall, you're dead. Our only chance is to keep running until we're in the clear. Do you understand? Yes! Alright then, Let's go! Marta and I began to run through the forest. Moments after we started to flee, I could hear the goblins talking to one another in their peculiar language. Following mere seconds of chatter, dozens of goblins broke off from their hots and began to pursue us, quickly closing the distance as our inability to see slowed Marta and I down. Wow! Damn, these bastards are faster than they look! Ada, keep running straight ahead, don't stop, no matter what! What about you? I'll be fine, just run! Without hesitating to leave Marta behind, I continued to run without stopping. Behind me, Marta quickly turned around and took on the first batch of goblins without batting an eye. Bring it on, you ugly sons of bitches! Marta brandished her sword and cleaved straight through the pack leaders, one after another. She cut down half a dozen goblins with ease, and the moment they stopped to regroup, she began to run once more. Before long, Marta had caught back up to me, with the goblins slowly catching up. Marta, are you alright? I'm fine, these little pants aren't as tough as they think. The heavily armed ones might be problematic, but they're also much slower. As long as we keep running, I should be able to pick up the front runners. Alright, I'll leave it to you. All according to plan, Marta continued to slaughter the fastest runners the moment they began closing in. By picking a few off here and there, she was able to thin their numbers and, more importantly, kill off the goblins most likely to catch up. Despite the amount of running back and forth, not to mention the act of slaying the goblins, Marta was able to keep up magnificently. With her blade shining bright in the moonlight, Marta dyed the trees red with the blood of goblins, tirelessly slaughtering any who dares cross our path. Unfortunately, despite her best efforts, Marta was horribly outnumbered. For every goblin she slew, two more took its place, full of energy and ready to fight. Shaving down their numbers was not a sustainable plan. In the end, all we could do was run. Okay. By the time Marta and I realized that the goblins were gone, we had already ran much further and longer than planned. We both collapsed, exhausted and sleep-deprived as we watched the sun begin to rise, finally putting an end to our taxing night. First, we remained vigilant. The goblins could show up at any moment. After all, we didn't want to let our guard down too soon, but the sun continued to rise and the goblins' advantage, their excellent night vision vanished. We at least allowed ourselves time to relax. Much better. Nothing like a bath after walking up a sweat. Yes, you might be right, though I'd rather a proper night of rest myself. We can rest when we reach Libertad. As long as we're in this forest, a good night's sleep is a luxury we cannot afford. Yes, I suppose so. I sighed in resignation as I discarded the idea of a proper rest. Having been on the run since the moment I decided to escape my captors, I was more exhausted than I let on. Killing a man, being pursued by slavers, chased by goblins, denied rest. Yesterday was a hard day for me, and a bath wouldn't help me in the slightest. Oh, cheer up! What kind of woman doesn't enjoy a nice long bath? Even if it's just a dip in a spring, there are many who are denied even that pleasure. Enjoy yourself, Ada. Understood. I continued to wash away the filth from my body as Marta... Okay, thank you very much, the poltergeist in my room. That was really unnecessary. I continued to wash away the filth from my body as Marta spoke. While Marta had immersed her body in the water without hesitation, I cleaned myself off carefully, one limb at a time, trying my best to remain dressed. As a result, I took much longer to complete my bath than Marta, though, judging by the look on her face, my time was not wasted. Wow, you clean up surprisingly well, Ada. You're actually quite the beauty. You should have no trouble landing a man when we reach Libertad. No, that is not my intention. Right now, finding a husband is the last thing on my mind. Oh, you're more ambitious than that, are you? Good for you. While I won't condemn the happily married housewife, I know better than anyone how joyous it is to be free. I shook my head at Marta's assumption. That's not it either. Then what? Aren't interested in man? Marta's words drifted off as she saw the concerned expression on my face. From the way her eyes and mouth opened wide, I knew that she had already figured out the error in her line of thought. Nonetheless, I felt compelled to share with her the truth. When I was a free woman, I was just as interested in men as any other woman of my age. Furthermore, because of my pleasing appearance, I was fancied by many men. Gifts were a welcome splendor, and even if I didn't return their affection, prize was abundant. But when I was captive, my appearance became nothing but a curse. I held my torso in my arms and shivered as I thought back to my time in captivity. There's nothing desirable about being an attractive slave, not a damn thing. And those men, the things they would do to the captive women, especially those they found attractive. I don't think I can ever go back to thinking positively of them ever again. Marta looked at me with an expression of both sorrow and remorse. What started off as a compliment ended with the invoking of memories best forgotten. It's so sad, so sad. Even if she didn't know what life as a female slave was like, Marta felt obvious guilt for her careless words. I apologize, Ada. I didn't mean to bring up such unpleasant memories. No, it's fine. I know you meant well. I forced a smile onto my face as I tried to think of another topic. Thankfully, with Marta now clean and still dripping wet from her bath, my recourse was obvious. You know, Marta, you have quite a pleasant face yourself. Pardon? Your face and your body too, for what matter. You're quite a beautiful woman, Marta. Surely you jest. I understand your desire to return a compliment, but I'm under no illusion when it comes to my own appearance. I'm a muscular beast of a woman, and I'm completely fine with that. A beast, you say? I smiled wryly as Marta's unexpected body issue came to light. Anyway, enough jabber. We ought to be heading off. Do you feel rested? Are you prepared to leave? Oh, yes, I'm ready. Whenever you... Oh! Huh? What is it? It's gone. What is? My coin purse. I must have dropped it when we were being chased by those goblins. Oh, I cannot say I'm surprised. The chase was indeed intense. Still, a coin purse is a small price to pay for our lives. Seemingly unaware of how much money was lost or what my loss meant, Marta laughed as she puffed out her chest. Yes, but Marta, don't you realize what this means? Those coins were all I had. Without them, I have nothing else with which to pay you. Huh? Oh, that's what you're worried about? Bah, forget that pocket change. I'm getting us to Libertad, with or without your coin. I stared at Marta in amazement as she casually brushed off her lost payments. Contrary to the impression she gave off during our first meeting, Marta was surprisingly kind, and she seemed to be less interested in material possessions than I would have thought. As far as savers have concerned, I couldn't have been more fortunate. You know, Marta, you really are a good person. More compliments? If I have no interest in your coin, what makes you think I desire your words of praise? Oh, come on. Just accept my thanks already. Oh, what is it this time? The coin purse. You don't suppose those goblins stopped chasing us because they found it, do you? Marta raised one eyebrow and stared at me in confusion. That many goblins, after losing so many of their comrades, come into a hall because of a single coin purse? I think not. Stupid though they may be, goblins still value a hot meal of flesh and bone over a shiny piece of metal. Although, as she finished speaking, Marta began to trail off. She placed her hand below her chin and tilted her head, immersing herself in thought. Strange. If not for your coin purse, then why did the goblins halt their advance? Maybe they realized that they were no match for you? Or they might have decided to feast on their comrades instead of us. Cannibalistic goblins, you say? I wouldn't be surprised. I certainly did kill enough of them for a feast. Well, no matter. We escaped, that's all that... Roar! Marta? Okay. Seeing Marta's petrified face, I turned to face the ferocious sound originating from behind us. Standing at almost 3 times Marta's height was an ogre. The disgusting creature was covered in muscle from head to toe, and in one hand it held the mangled corpse of a hobgoblin. Its terrifying roar, an assertion of its domination, froze Marta in place as she gazed at its horrible visage. Marta had not expected to see an ogre here. She was confident that we would encounter only a few goblins, not an army of goblins, and certainly not an ogre. Ada! Run away! Marta finally came to her senses, but by the time she screamed my name, it was too late. Gazing upon the figure, which frightened even Marta, I was frozen. My mind slowed to a halt, and I couldn't move a muscle. Every fiber of my being was telling me to run away. The few neurons still firing in my brain all commanded me to escape, but I couldn't do it. My mind had shut down and my body threatened to collapse in the face of such tremendous strength. I could do nothing but give up hope. I had finally met my end. Damn it, Ada! Snap out of it! I told you, I'd get you to Libertad, didn't I? Marta screamed as she ran over to my side. The ogre, which had been sized me up, moved at the same time, tossing aside its deceased prey and settling on yours truly. They both encroached upon me at the same time, engaging in a race with nothing but my life on the line, and the one to finish first was Marta. Damn it, Ada! Leave! A split second before the ogre could take hold of me, Marta rammed into me with all of her might. The ogre narrowly missed the two of us, and the shock from the sudden impact finally brought me back to reality. I jumped straight to my feet and ran away as quickly as I could, not even taking the time to thank Marta or scream her name. It's you and me now, you ugly freak! Let's do this! Without giving Marta time to think, the ogre made the first move. It swung its massive arm from the side, sweeping at its prey with great strength. Marta raised her shield to defend against the slow but powerful strike. She took the blow head on and immediately regretted doing so. Caw! Marta's shield was obliterated in a single strike, and Marta herself was launched back several meters. Though she landed on her feet, Marta was afforded no time to collect her thoughts. The ogre came charging, seizing upon its rattled prey. Damn it! How am I supposed to fight something like this? Is escape my only option? Briefly, the thought of withdrawal flashed through Marta's mind. This was clearly not an opponent she could take down alone, and even if she did, doing so would accomplish nothing. The moment she thought about doing so, however, a sharp pain flared up in her chest. No, I can't run away now. If I do, this ogre will continue to kill innocent passerby till the end of its days. I must slay it now. Even if I stand no chance, I will fight to the death with honor. The ogre balled up both of its fists and swung from overhead. Marta quickly avoided the sluggish fleshy attack and ran around the ogre, making her way to its rear. She slashed at the ogre's lance frantically, landing as many hits as she could before the ogre turned around to sweat her away. Bastard! The ogre chuckled in response to Marta's assault. Her sword bounced off its tough, armor-like skin. Every time she attacked, not a single cut remained, no matter how many times she slashed. This isn't good, my attacks aren't having any effect at all. If I'm going to damage the thing, my only shot is a powerful stab, piercing one of its weak points. But on a beast like this, where could I even... While numbly dodging another overhead strike, Marta realized what she needed to do. She jumped onto one of the ogre's massive arms and began to run up its body. Once she neared its shoulder, ice, right? Yeah. Marta leaped towards the ogre's heart, aiming the tip of her blade for its eyeball. Hiya! At the last second, the ogre moved its head to the side, causing the blade to narrowly avoid its eye and instead skim across its cheek. The attack managed to draw a few drops of pus-like blood from the ogre's face, where the skin was shallow, but no real harm was done. In a matter of minutes, its face would heal and Marta would be right back where she started. Damn, the ogre can move its hand around too quickly. I need to halt its movement before I can get a clean shot. Marta glanced over the ogre once more, looking for another point of weakness. After quickly analyzing the possible areas of attack, Marta soon settled on a particular limb, which the ogre couldn't move quickly without throwing itself off balance. If I can pierce the back of its knee, I could be able to deal some lasting damage and stop it from moving around so much. Well, this won't be easy, but right now it's my only shot. Marta charged forwards in an arc, trying to run around the side of the ogre. Amused, the ogre paid her little concern. It watched her run by turning its head, not even going to the trouble of moving the rest of its body. So it was just moving her head. Oh, that's so weird. Marta thanked her fortune for the ogre's conceit and placed herself in position. She held her blade perpendicular to her body and lunged forward, throwing all of her weight and strength into her thrust. The sword moved swiftly, piercing the air effortlessly as the ogre's fleshy thigh inched closer. Marta's blade was moving faster than she thought possible, encroaching upon her target with inhuman speed she never thought herself capable of reaching. And by the time she figured out why, it was already far too late. Gah! The ogre swung its leg forward, swatting away Marta's sword and sending the Woman herself flying. Soon halted, Marta's body slammed against a giant rock. All of the air in her lungs escaped at once, and her eyes shot wide open. Marta desperately tried to move, but her body had already suffered enough. She was in shock, and her limbs would no longer respond to her commands. And of course, the ogre did not fail to take notice of this. Panic set in as the ogre turned around and looked Marta dead in the eye, bereft of her sword and shield. Unable to dodge, Marta couldn't afford to take another hit. Guys, seriously, I need to finish this part, but I can't finish it before we'll slay the ogre, especially not from an opponent many times her size, but this fact only made the ogre all the more bloodthirsty. The ogre lined up its fists, preparing to finish off Marta once and for all. So, it was impossible for me after all, huh? I should have known. I couldn't do this alone, not after what happened last time. My friends and I could not prevail when we fought together. What made me think I would even stand a chance all by myself? Thinking about it logically, there is no other way this could have ended. Marta closed her eyes. Will we save her now? In return, she accepted her fate and no longer possessed the will to defy it. She would die at the hands of an ogre, just like the companions she left behind. Roar! Even with her eyes closed, Marta flinched and instinctively turned away as the ogre let out an aggravated groan. The time of her death was nigh, and all she could do was brace herself for the imminent impact. Huh? Mother slowly opened her eyes. As a confused groan leaked out of the ogre's mouth, she followed the ogre's gaze and looked down towards its feet, where she saw a sight that defied all expectations. Marta! Order? Marta doubted her eyes as she set her sights on yours truly. I stood at the ogre's feet, wielding the knight's blade, which Marta gave to me. Get away from Marta, you disgusting beast! With great difficulty, I held the blade over my head and swung it down on the ogre's foot. The blade swung with far less might than Marta's, bounced off the ogre's thick hide without leaving so much as a scratch. Again, I swung my weapon, this time from the side. Unfortunately, the result was no different. The blade was repelled, though the ogre's skin was made of rubber. My strength was not enough to even tickle the beast, let alone slay it. Amused by my pathetic attempt, the ogre turned to face me head on. I quickly ran away, dragging the knight's blade along the ground beside for the first few meters before casting it aside. The ogre stopped in its track. It seemed perplexed by my decision to cast aside my weapon and momentarily halted its advance. Marta, on the other hand, understood my intention perfectly. "You flattering idiot!" The ogre raised its arms up high, intent on slamming both of its clenched, boulder-like fists into the ground and smushing me into paste. And yet, in the face of its clear danger, I could do nothing but smile. Hi-ya! While distracted, the ogre Marta picked up her blade and sprinted full speed into the back of the ogre's right knee. She pierced the shallow flesh and cut into the ogre's muscle and bone, slicing apart every vein and ligament she could find. The ogre roared in a pained yet angry manner. It fell into its hands and knees, at which point it turned its ugly head towards Marta, just in time to watch her gouge out its eyeball. Die! Die, you monster! For every human life you have taken, endure 1,000 years of hellfire! Before the ogre could lift an arm in self-defense, Marta repeatedly stabbed the inside of the ogre's empty eye socket. She walked herself into a frenzy as she hacked away at the inside of its skull, carving out chunks of the ogre's brain. The ogre attempted to swap Marta away, but in doing so it lost balance and fell to the ground, giving Marta time to cut the beast one last time. Marta severed to one of the tendons in the ogre's neck by cutting downwards through its head, and at last she leaped from the mighty creature's corpse. And okay guys, I think we defeated the ogre, and I think this is the best place to end this part, and we'll see the result of our actions and a bit of thank you maybe in the next part. So bye, and I'll see you next time. And as always, you can click on my image and subscribe to this channel, and also check some of my previous videos out. Bye!